When you're feeling down and like your world's moving slow, just remember your race. You lose at your pace when marching towards your goals. And brighter than the stars. Don't take impossible. Nothing is impossible. You're brighter than the stars. An angel, 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 soaring like an eagle, eagle, eagle. Nothing is impossible. Don't take impossible. You're brighter than the stars.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talking with 3D right here on Plushwork TV. I am your host, Derek Darrell Dixon, and I am so excited that I have the one, the only, Neshell Noelle is here with us on Talking with 3D. And let me tell you, she has been so busy lately, so I am so glad, Neshell, that you found some time, that you took time just to spend with me on Talking with 3D. So again, thank you. Welcome to Talking with 3D. How are you doing this evening?
Well, thank you for having me. That was the best introduction ever, by the way. And I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing really good, really good. So I'm excited to have you tonight, and just to be able to get the understanding of the female perspective of working in film today. Because, lately we have been seeing a lot of our females directing and writing and producing films. So, and are women of color. So it is so nice to see what you are doing and what you are all about. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you just a little bit about Neshell. Neshell is the owner of XO Films. She is a film and TV production. It's a TV and film production company. She's also a producer, writer, director, and an actress. Neshell is known for directing Conditions, the series, 2022, Risky Business 2021, and is currently directing her first feature film under XO Films production, Freak Like Me. I also just want to add that Neshell didn't send me everything about it, so I do my snooping and everything, find out what I can about people. Again, she's a director, she's an assistant director and actress. She's also worked in the camera department, script department, casting director, production manager, and set director. This is Neshell Noelle right here, ladies and gentlemen. She ain't playing. She ain't playing.
Just hearing all that, I'm tired.
You like, I was doing all that?
Exactly.
So listen, let's just go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's been a journey. Just hearing that back, I'm like, oh yeah, I do all that stuff too. You're right.
It has been a journey, and you've got so much more to go. So much more to go. So listen, let's just jump right into it, Neshell, and talk about, where did you find your love for film?
Okay, so it started back when I was in my younger years. I just loved watching movies, and I just loved seeing the cinematography of it, even though I didn't know that's what it was back then. And I remember watching movies like Jurassic Park and Dr. Dolittle, and I was like, oh, I want to be like a paleontologist because I loved watching that movie. And then I was like, oh, I want to be a veterinarian because I love that movie. And then I realized as I got older, I really wanted to be the people who make these movies and these stories.
Right.
Right. So it just evolved from there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you come from a family that was into acting and film? I mean, who were you surrounded around that you picked this up?
Honestly, none of my family was really into it. I found out once I really just took the dive and just was like, I'm gonna go for it, that my dad really had a love for it. But I was pretty much the lone wolf in this journey for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, being in film now, we don't find a lot of our females that are behind the cameras, that are writing, that are producing, that are directing. What is that like for you? Here we are in 2022, and we are finally seeing, and also, Neshell, we're seeing our Black women, our Black men directing and producing, but especially our Black women coming forth and putting out films. 2022, and it's finally coming to the surface. What does that mean to you?
Well, it's a really big deal for me because I think it was a couple years ago, I sat back and I was reflecting on some of my favorite directors as someone who really wanted to get into the business. And I realized talking to a lot of people that even though there's a lot of us, nobody really knows any by name.
Right.
Right. So it was like for me, it's like, all right, well, since there are a lot of us, but there aren't too many people who are, out there enough for people to really remember the name. I wanted to be one of those people who went forth and like produced and directed and written something that was so great that even my name will be mentioned among the men in the business.
Right, right. And it should be, because the fact that, we always want to put women behind the scene and never give them the credit that they actually deserve.
For
So
sure.
it is so nice to see this. And what is your team like? Who gives you that support and pushes you to say, you know what, I can do this. I can wake up and continue to do this every single day.
Well, obviously myself is the main person because if I don't tell myself to get up, then it's
There
never
we go.
gonna happen. And my next person in line is my husband. He's definitely been the person that I've had behind my back all the way through almost my whole life. We've been together since high school. So he's been my number one supporter who pushes me and guides me and tells me, keep going, and show everybody everything that I already know. And I'm like, you're right, I'm gonna do that. And then
Right.
as I've progressed in my career, I've slowly just found more and more people who have that same vision and that same dream. And now that's why I'm at XO Films production company. I'm just surrounded by people who want to see that vision come to life.
Yes. And it's good that you have your husband to be there and to support you. Because a lot of times they don't want to be, the spouse doesn't really want to be a part of what you're doing, your vision. Right. So it's nice to see that your husband is right there. If he's got to work the camera, if he's got to hold the boom or whatever, he is right there on the scene and being very supportive of you. Your husband, he proposed, engaged to you May 21st, 2014.
Oh yeah, you really did your research. He sure did.
He was like, you did?
Like, great, exactly.
2014. So like you say, you guys have been together for a long time. And for someone to support you and to, really be there for you, what is that like? Because we don't see that a lot. A lot of times this breaks up couples. So what kept y'all together to say, you know what, we've got to push forward?
I honestly think, I see him as my soulmate. Like we were just destined to be together and do this together. But I think the main thing that's kept us together through everything, not just filmmaking and, living a passion out, is just communication and really understanding each other's wants and needs in the relationship. And I think that's really been the driving force for us, because whenever one of us is having a bad day, we're always trying to figure out, all right, how can I help? Sometimes you need to give people space. Sometimes you need to give that encouraging ear, and just finding that balance in between the two.
Yes, yes. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to you, Neshell, about, being a casting director. What do you look for? And when you're doing a film, what do you look for, and the advice you can give to our actors out there watching? So ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. Once again, you're watching Talking with 3D right here on Fleshwork TV. My name is Derek Noelle Dixon, and I have Noelle here tonight. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I don't understand a girl like you. You got a man, yet you're acting like a fool. Listen, he's doing his part, so you better do yours. Ooh, 'cause ain't nothing worse than him walking out that door. You gotta cook and clean and wash everything. Smile and grin and hand your man a pen so he can write that check paying all your bills. Then he'll give it to you and you give it to him and say, woo, 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 how does that feel? Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back just like that. Once again, I have Neshell here with XO Films, the CEO of XO Films, who a film and TV production company, Black owned, right here. This is what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen, when you have a dream, when you have a vision, and you are pushing forward to make these things come true. So again, it is an honor because when you get up there to accept your Grammy, your Oscar, and your Emmy and all that, I want you to just let everybody know I was on Talking with 3D.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, speak that E got into existence.
That's right. So we're gonna be right there. XO Films will be right there. Listen, as a casting director also, because I do know that you do a lot of auditioning for the films the feature film that you're doing now and things that you've done in the past. What is it like to be a casting director? What do you look for in actors and actresses?
Well, that honestly is one of my favorite parts of the production is casting, just getting to meet the different types of people, seeing the passions that they have, seeing the motivation that people have. And I just love getting to give that chance to someone who I know is dreaming about this opportunity. So for me, the main thing I look for is people who are on time.
Yes.
Yes, I always pay attention to who came early and who came prepared the most. Whether you have looked the part or not, I'm paying attention to that the most.
Wow.
Yes, that'll get you far. Trust me.
I mean, right there, that's some great advice. You came on time. If you can get there early, and you don't have to look the part. It's just the fact that you came ready and prepared to have an audition.
Yes.
That's really important. Go ahead.
That's really the key. So that's another example is sometimes I know some people will say, if only apply if you fit the part. But for me, I feel like you should put your headshot in anyway. Because there's been times where we're looking for one person and then I've seen a reel that was just so good that I'm like, I'm changing this whole entire character to fit this specific person because they just gave me such a good energy that now I'm like, oh, I'm going in a whole different direction just for them. So I always say, right. So always say apply either way. And then if you're just starting off, don't turn down extra work because I've also seen times where somebody who can go in for extra and you might actually end up getting a few lines and, end up elevating your part.
Right. And I've heard that when you're going through and you see parts and everything, and it may call for a Caucasian male. And a lot of times, like you're saying, send in your headshot, and they're like, "Oh wow, this person, their look is interesting. Let me find out a little bit more about them."
Right.
So that is very good advice. That you should never be afraid to send in your resume, send in your headshot, because somebody out there, even if it's not for that whatever they're doing for that production or that project, there's something else out there that they're looking for others. So never be afraid to send that out there. As a casting director, what are some of the don'ts coming to an audition?
Well, I'll just speak from my last casting experience. The number one thing I would say is don't reply to a casting call with attitude. You think this is a given, but somehow it's not because you don't really know who's on the other side of that email. And I know sometimes we'll be like, oh, the casting director, it doesn't matter, or the production assistant, they don't matter. I only have to be nice to the directors and the lead. be nice to everyone all the way through, because it comes back to who it needs to come back to. So always
Right.
kind, nice, polite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Be nice and polite, because you don't
Very.
know who is on the other end looking at your emails, answering no phone calls. So please make sure, because I think a lot of times our actors think they have arrived. And regardless of your name, how many films that you've been in, you still have to do the work. You
Exactly.
still have to do the work. You still may not even fit the part. So you still have to do the work. Your name alone does not get you the part.
Exactly.
You know, I've heard what's her name that plays Cookie? I can't even think of her name right now.
Taraji P. Henson?
Yes, Taraji, yes. That she had to audition over and over again for some parts. And she was like, my name is Taraji. And they were like, okay, you still need to audition.
Right.
So, you know, you have to have that mindset, that the fact that, you know, you just never know. You never know. So keep focused and be persistent, but do it in a positive way.
Exactly.
In a positive way. So going from being on the director side, the actor side, how does that differ for you? Because you have to, do you direct and act in your same, or do you do it on different sets?
So I haven't directed and acted on the same scene. So I technically direct Conditions, the TV show, and I do have a part in that, but I let one of my actors have a chance to direct that scene. So
Okay.
I'm giving opportunities to people who I feel like, all right, you've been working, I see you working, this is something you're interested in. Let me give you the opportunity, and you know, let's see if we can make this work. And it turned out well.
Wow. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that. Conditions, the series. It came out 2022, and it's a TV series.
It's a TV series, so it's still being filmed. I mean, yeah, still being filmed. We shot the first half a couple months ago, and now we're going to finish the second half of the season in the fall.
So can you tell us a little bit about what Conditions, the series, is all about?
Yes. So Conditions is about three 30-year-old men who are going through the transition of life after some very bad divorces.
Mm.
Yeah, it's going to be really funny when it comes out, because you don't really see too much about this in a comedic way.
Right. And we don't see the spin where the men have gone through the divorce and life after the divorce. We always see the women, but we don't see the men. So yeah, that's going to be something that it's going to draw the men to come to see this.
Exactly. This is
Or to
definitely
watch it.
right. It's definitely one where I feel like the women and the men are going to equally enjoy, because you get to see both sides of the scenario.
Right, right. Also, I've watched some of Risky Business. Risky Business had me on the edge of my seat. I stayed up. I got into it, and then I was like, wait a minute. Let me go, because it was like, I think the third one. And I was like, wait a minute, I got to go back to the first and see what's going on. I got drawn in all the way through. Risky Business is the business, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not seen it, you need to watch Risky Business. So, Neshell, tell us about Risky Business.
So Risky Business is a coming of age show about a guy who has going through relationship issues and financial issues, and so he gets involved in some illegal activities to win his girl back, and that involves him having an illegal taxi service. And so once he gets into that, he meets some, you know, very interesting clients, and that's when he meets a call girl, and she's trying to escape her old pimp, you know.
Right.
He helps her try to escape that life, but instead it draws him in even further.
It is. When I tell you, I'm telling you, you will be drawn in once you watch this. Where can everybody watch Risky Business?
So it's on YouTube right now, and it was written and produced by Alvin Gray. He's a great producer, director out of the Baltimore area, and he's actually one of my mentors to help me, you know, progress in the business.
Well, I'm I'm telling you, again, Risky Business. Please make sure that you check that out. It's on YouTube, and you will be up when you binge watch. When you go to Netflix and other, you will binge watch Risky Business. So please make sure that you check that out as well. Listen, we're going to take our second break real quick, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about XO Films, and then we're going to talk about the new feature film, Freak Like Me. So don't go anywhere. You are watching Talking with 3D right here on Plushwork TV.
What is wrong with you?
It's Alexa Pro. It's the fucking Alexa Pro.
Well, are you gonna finish or what?
Yeah, come on.
Come on.
I can't do it.
Be quiet and come on.
I just feel like you're rushing me. I feel like I'm just being rushed. Let's just stop. Stop. You're faking it. Fucking Alexa.
And ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are watching Talking with 3D. I am here with Neshell, Noelle, and with XO Films, the CEO of the firm, the film and TV production company that is producing movies and TV shows. The next one up is called Freak Like Me. But before we talk about that, let's talk a little bit about XO Films, how you got that started and what that means.
Okay. So I always had a dream of having a production company, directing, writing, producing, acting. And I remember so many people were telling me, you gotta just pick one and stick to it. Like, you trying to do too much.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, I'm like, no, you're just doing too little. I'm doing all
Right.
of it.
I know that's right. Right.
Right. So I eventually just took the leap and I was like, all right, I wrote my movie Freak Like Me, and I knew I wanted complete control of the creativity. I wanted complete control of the vision. So I was like, this is the perfect time to also launch my production company. And the two intertwined, and that's how I got Freak Like Me and XO Films all this year around the same time. So XO Films, I named it after my Instagram name, which is Miss Hyde XO. And I just took the XO, that's a little signature for me. And that's where the XO comes from.
Okay. So what do the knives represent?
So, you know, the symbol XO is hugs and kisses, right?
Yes.
So I made it knives and kisses because I wanted to show that balance of spicy and sweet, and you know, yes. So that's kind of how my movies are going to be. You're going to get, you know, the sweet, you're going to get the spicy, you're going to get the drama, you're going to get the passion. So I really wanted something that represented that.
So with XO Films, which is a TV and film production company, will others be able to produce their projects under XO Films?
Yes, absolutely. We have the opportunity for other people to bring their projects in for the company. Right now, I'm really looking for like horror movies, thriller movies, stuff around like drama. I really want to highlight and give opportunities to people of color, you know, Black people. I really want to give opportunities to my LGBT community. I really want to give voices to people who usually aren't really represented in film. So those are people who I'm really looking for to be part of the company.
So how does everyone find XO Films if they want to say, I have a project, I want to see if this is something that will fit the brand of XO Films? What is the procedure that they follow?
Okay, so you can either find me on Facebook under Neshell Noelle Dane, or you can go to Facebook, and that's XO Films LLC, and send us a message and we can go through that way. Or you can go through the website xofilmsentertainment.com and find us there.
So you've heard it right there, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've got a project out there send it over to Neshell and let her, see what's going on with it and see if you fit the brand. You never know. You never know. So the next project, or the current project that you are working on, directing your first feature film. Let me ask you this question first off, because a lot of people don't understand what's the difference between just a film or a feature film. Why is it called a featured film?
So it's a feature film mostly because of the length of the film. It has to be a certain amount of time for it to be considered a feature film. So if it's under an hour, it's usually considered a short film, and then over that, it's a feature film. So this is a feature film, full-length film, and it's a psychological thriller about a girl who has bad luck in love, relationships, life, every area you can think of, until she meets a guy who she considers her Prince Charming. At least that's what she thinks at first.
That's what she thinks.
That's what she thinks.
You have a lot of twists and turns.
Yes, I
in
love a
this
good
film.
twist and turn. I love a good twist and turn.
A lot of twists and turns.
Yes.
And it's called Freak Like Me. So what is the predicted date for Freak Like Me to come out?
So since we're still filming, I would probably say either the end of this year or the very beginning of next year, just because since it's my first baby, I want to make sure it's done right through and through. So I'm going to make sure the editing is on point, the music is on point, and I'm just going to make sure it's flawless as much as I can be for a first film.
For your first film. I've had the pleasure to work with Neshell on this project with her. And I will tell you that when Neshell is in director mode, because I walked off the set thinking, was I okay? Did I do okay? Her face didn't change. She didn't say anything. I'm like, what, and they're like, nope, she's like that. If you didn't do good, oh, trust and believe me, you would have heard it.
Right. Yeah, I know I tend to do that. I'm like, I tend to give a lot more pointers at the very, very end. But yeah, when I'm in that mode, I'm so in story mode that I be forgetting. I'm like, all right, let me let them know that they did good. I'm not someone that's going to criticize. I will say if I'm like, hey, do it like this, do it like that. But when you're doing good and you don't hear from me, that's actually a good thing.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. And so I know I got to work on, hyping up everybody a little bit more, but yeah, my silence is a good thing.
Okay, so because I was like, yo, listen, she didn't say nothing.
No, trust me, that your scene is phenomenal, and I know you weren't there for all the scenes, but all these scenes are coming out beyond my expectations. So it's really gonna be a good movie when it comes out.
Wow, good. So what do you plan? What is the platform? Is this going to be on the big screen? How is this going to be presented to the world?
So we are going to start off with a premiere at an actual movie theater, and have all the glitz and glam of the red carpet, and everybody gets to experience that. And then it will be sent off to a streaming network, but I don't want to give away which one just yet.
Okay.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. And we will be looking forward to that. I'm just saying, Neshell, this is first off, it was such a pleasure to meet you, because when you come into the casting, you make people feel like they already are stars. And that's such a wonderful feeling. And everybody on your staff, everybody. So to be a part of something already that it's going to be big. It's going to be something that you're proud of, that you were a part of, that I'm a part of. So I appreciate the way that you made me feel when I walked in. That makes people think, okay, I'm doing this little acting thing. Okay, I'm all right.
Yeah, like I really love hearing that, because I really do want everybody to feel welcome and relaxed and good energy when we're on set. Now obviously when we start filming, my brain goes into the other mode,
right?
But before we get there, I definitely love to have everybody feel like they're part of the family before we even get started. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, you do. So let's talk about this. So going into the director mode, when you are full director mode, what is the, waking up in the morning? Just walk us briefly through the day. When you wake up in the morning, you have your notes together, you got to go to set, everything. How does that work when you're putting together a film?
Okay, so when I know I have a production day ahead of me, I'm already preparing all week long, especially as for this, I was the producer, writer, director. So I was a part of it through and through all the way. So I was making sure all the props and locations were secured, and then having to do the director side of it and making sure my actors are okay and making sure my crew is okay. It's a lot of moving parts. So I have to just make sure I have everything checked basically before I even arrive on set. And then once we arrive, I explain to my DP, who is also Alvin Gray from Risky Business, um, and explain to them that, this is, what I really want for the vision for today. Let's see how we can execute it the best and go from there. And it's tiring, but it's very thrilling and
Right.
exhilarating and fulfilling by the end of the day once you realize, okay, everything happened exactly how it's supposed to happen.
Wow. So can you tell us who is going to be in this film?
Okay, so our lead actress, her name is Olivia Danzler. I hope I pronounced it right. Forgive me if I didn't. And our leading male is Antonio Mosby, and both of them are like pretty new to the game. I'm pretty sure this is their first feature film lead parts. So it was
Okay.
like our first feature films for a lot of the people, cast and crew on set. But I think that's like the best part about it is because nobody knows exactly what type of talent that I'm bringing forth. So
Right.
it's like, what do I expect? And then we're gonna, expect the unexpected. So
Right.
it's gonna be really fun to see it play out.
Wow. So growing up, you watched films and everything. What attracted your eye? Were you attracted to the thrillers, the comedy, the drama? Which films drew you in most?
So I will say the movie that made me realize, oh yeah, I have to be a director of all things was Signs by M. Night Shyamalan. That
Hmm.
yeah, that movie was the movie for me where I'm like, wow, I really love the twists, the turns,
Right.
the feeling of fear without there being too much stuff to actually fear on screen. Sometimes fearing the unknown is really some of the scariest parts of a film.
Right.
And I just love how he told stories. So he was like the main director that motivated me to be like, all right, this is the type of stuff I want to produce and create when it's my time to do it.
Right. Well, this is your time. I'm telling you, this is your time. I'll tell you the scariest movie that had me up all night long. My mother was so mad that my brother even took me to see this movie was Carrie. And when I saw Carrie,
Uh-huh.
but it was just so amazing how they made that movie. I never saw something made like that. And I was like, wow, from just the things flying around and the whole school scene, the hand coming up out of the ground and stuff. You just never expected so much stuff that was going on. So film has always been something that I've been so intrigued about, not to do the directing side of it,
Mhm.
more of the acting side. But now I'm getting the director bug because I direct stage plays,
Okay.
but film is now because I know that's a different element too. You know,
Yeah.
theater you've got to direct all the way through, and then film as I see you doing different scenes. Why? Let me ask you this: why do when you are putting together a film, you may shoot the end scene first, and
Mhm.
then you go to? Why is that? Why do they, not follow it all the way through?
So there's a lot of different reasons, but the main one I would say is what is most cost efficient. So
Okay.
sometimes if you know you're only going to have a certain location for one day, you have to shoot all the scenes that belong to that one location. And sometimes that means shooting the film completely out of order. or you'll know
Mm.
that, right, you'll know that some actor may not be available certain days, so then you'd have to shoot their scene on a different day, and then by the end of all of it, you know, you're shooting it completely out of order.
So how hard is that then to bring that all together? That's the amazing part to me, is that now I've got to go back here to find this shot and bring it up here. How hard is that now to bring that all together?
Well, you know, it does get easier as you know, the more and more experience you do have, but I honestly will give credit to my assistant directors for keeping track of everything, the moving parts and the continuity of this film. Antonio Mosby and Tim Megason, they definitely help keep things in place and making sure we get the shots that we need. And then we have to come back and make sure. I'm like, all right, did we get everything? Especially when you shoot out of order, sometimes things may go you know, missed. So
Right.
they help keep it in order to make sure we get everything we need.
So as you shoot, do you go back and look at what you've shot so far just to make sure, do I need to reshoot this? Do I need to add something? Do I need to take something away? Do you go back and watch everything before you even continue on?
So I don't go back and watch literally everything. I go back and watch, you know, the parts that I would like to call green takes, where I feel like these are the clips we're actually going to use in the film, and make sure those are good. And then sometimes even when you watch it back, you're like, all right, this is great, this is amazing. And then you get it to the editor and they're like, actually, you know, there's a boom mic, or, you know, one of the crew members walk past in the mirror and you can see it, you don't even realize. And you're like, all right, well, let me go back to some other takes and see if it matches with it. And then we go from there.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So do you have in mind what the red carpet, any of that's going to be like? Is that something you could talk about now, or what is that experience going to be like?
It's going to be magical. So I really want it to be like a legitimate red carpet experience. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have it at a theater that's in Baltimore area, just because the main bulk of the cast and crew is from the Baltimore area. So I really want to show them love for helping and supporting this. And I just really want it to be like as grand of experience as you can, because you know we're not Hollywood yet, but I want it to feel as
Yes,
Hollywood as possible. So when
yes.
you're getting all dressed up, and you know the hair, the makeup, you know, just having that good feeling of really coming together and seeing the final product that we all created.
And then just to see our names on like the flyers and see our names on the credits,
Yeah.
that's just such a feeling that you have, like, wow, I was part of this, this project and everything. So it's amazing. It's amazing of the whole process. And you get wrapped for your scene, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, what's going on? What did they take them now? And so that whole creativity is just amazing to me when you are putting together a film. So I commend you, because that's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard work, and I don't know how you're not pulling out your hair and things like that, because you wear it well. When Neshell, I'm tell y'all, when she goes on set, she's glam from head to toe. I've seen directors go on set, and you're just like, who is the director? And they're over there on a baseball cap and raggedy jeans and everything. Not Neshell. She is glam from head to toe. I'm
Thank you.
telling you, she is true boss CEO. Yes, she is. She is not. She don't play with Neshell. I'm telling you, she
Yeah.
is. She is it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I gotta dress the part as soon as I come in the building. I don't want to wait until you know I'm the A-lister that I'm trying to be. I'm the A-lister now in my
You're the
mind.
A-lister now. Come on now. We gotta speak
Exactly.
those things over ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly.
Affirmations, affirmations, affirmations. You gotta speak those things, because it's really important. Just give people the advice, talking about affirmations, because we do have so many actors, Neshell, that want to get into this business or are in it. And they think, because I didn't get the audition, or I got a smaller part than what I thought I was going to get, to keep them motivated to keep going, to keep striving, to keep going, to get your own production company. What do you tell them?
Don't give up. That's really the key to it. Never give up. The people who really make it are just the ones who just never gave up. They never took no for an answer. You're always, especially as an actor, you're always going to hear a no, 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 no.
Mhm.
But I always tell myself the no's just bring you closer to the yes.
Yes.
So, right. So I'm big on manifesting myself. Like, 3, 4 years ago, I had zero experience in the business. So to come this far in just a short amount of time shows you just how far you can come off the belief of, this is what I want to do, and I'm not taking no for an answer.
Mm,
So I'm big on dream boards, manifesting, speaking things into existence, affirmations, like you said, and just really sticking to it even on those days when you're like, I can't do this anymore. Because this year for me has honestly been one of the best and the worst years, going through a lot of trials and tribulations and stuff behind the scenes, but just telling
right.
myself, you know the better days do come is really what keeps you going.
Keeps you going. So as you were saying that, coming into this business, um, where did who did you know how to trust to lead you in the right direction? Because it is a very competitive type of business. Entertainment is so competitive that some people don't want to tell you the best casting agents to go to, or hey, go out for this audition. How did you find that trust in people to say, what, hey, I want to learn. I want to do this. This is my passion.
I think honestly, I think everybody kind of has this feeling when you're around good energy versus bad energy, and you should trust that. When you're in a room with people who have good intentions, you kind of feel that in the room, and when you're in a room with people who have bad intentions, you feel that. So, don't ignore that intuition. When you're around good people, and they're helping you, you can feel that, and sticking with those type of people will help elevate you even faster. And don't
Mm,
stick around the people who are like, oh, you could do it, but maybe not. You don't need people like that. You need the people who are speaking life into you.
right. Yes. Do not stick around the Debbie Downers.
Not at
Leave
all.
Debbie alone.
Exactly.
Debbie is not your friend. Debbie
No.
will sit there and tell you all these things and have you in the psych ward. Leave Debbie alone. Get you some people that will encourage you to keep striving. And what's also important, I think, Neshell, is that when you do have people there to encourage you, you have to listen. Because if you don't listen, then you're not willing to learn. And when you're not willing to learn, this is not what you really want to do. So take the time to listen, take criticism and positive criticism, but also sometimes there's some negative criticism that you have to know. You have to know that, what, that just wasn't it. This may not be for you. And but that's okay, because if we're always trying to, I think it's wrong for us a lot of times to tell, no, you're good, you did good, and it wasn't good.
Right.
We have to be able to groom people to say, well, listen, I think you need to, something guidance in this area.
Right.
How would you go about telling somebody, what, I know this is what you want to do, but it's just not for you.
So I'm definitely big on constructive criticism. I'm not the type to sugarcoat it, but I'm not the type to, tear you down to the point where you're like, wow, I shouldn't be
Hmm.
doing this at all. So if I'll have an actor on set or actress on set, and I can tell that, they may be in their head about something or they didn't deliver it the right way, I like to lead with, you did what you did good, and then be like, all right, well, you did amazing, you did this part well, but let's work on this part or this aspect. And when you're just starting off in the business, be open to criticism. And even when you're still in the business for years and years and years, always be open to that criticism, because you can always get better, no matter how far you are into the business. Like, I'm the owner of the business of my XO Films, the director, the writer, but I still will ask my assistant directors, my co-producers on set, what do you think can elevate this scene even more? Because sometimes people definitely have that vision that can enhance your vision as well.
Right, right. Listen, you have motivated me You know, even though this is stuff that I love to do, but when you hear it from someone else, it just helps motivate yourself more and more and say, you know what, let me get back on track. Let me stay focused. Being around people like Antonio and Just Tim, they keep you motivated. They keep you focused. And even though they may not always be on the comedy scene or doing a movie, they strive to keep you focused. So it is right that you have to stay around these type of people in order to keep you sane and make sure that you don't fall off the wagon. So again, Neshell, tell everybody once again where we can find you and how they can be a part if they have a project and they want to present it to XO Films, where they can submit those projects.
So you can find me on Instagram, Miss Hyde XO, MZ.HYDEXO. And we are also on Instagram, XO Films Production. And Facebook, Neshell Noelle Dane, and then XO Films LLC on Facebook. And then the website is xofilmsent.com.
So again, you can check out Conditions the series is coming out.
It's coming out.
It's coming out. Conditions the series is coming out. So look for that. And also Risky Business. Please go on YouTube, look up Risky Business. You will love it. I'm telling you, you have to look it up. And Freak Like Me will be out by the end of 2022 or 2023. So you can find information on the website when it's coming out, but it'll be blasted all over social media. So you'll know that Freak Like Me is coming out. So we look forward to that. Neshell, I want to thank you so much for coming on Talking with 3D. I'm so excited to work with you, to know you, and just to see you flourish and start something that this is your baby and you just want it to do. So I just thank you for just being the motivational person that you are. A lot of people, I hope they are inspired by seeing me speak with you today. And I hope that they go after their dreams and do what they want to do. Do you have any final words that you want to say to our audience today?
I just want to thank you for having me today. And it was a wonderful interview. And don't tell anybody, but this is definitely my favorite interview I've had so far. And I can't wait to come back again. And we talk about how Freak Like Me went after the premiere.
Yes, I will definitely will do it. So you know what? I will say this, that we'll have something special out there also for the red carpet. And so that way we can get some pictures and stuff, and we come back and have you back on after the premiere. So
right.
I'm see Neshell right back here again on Talking with 3D. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in tonight right here on Plushwork TV. This is Neshell Noelle, the CEO of XO Films, the director, the producer, the writer of the feature film coming up, Freak Like Me. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful evening. See you right here next week.
When you're feeling down and like your world's moving slow, just remember your race. It moves at your pace when marching towards your goals. And